Let me know once it is visible. Okay, perfect. Chalo. So we are going to start with your past paper question. This is the latest past paper, guys. Your September, December 2025 past paper. All right, just give me a minute. Okay. Yeah. So this is the latest past paper that you have. And this is a question which is in relation to your audit risk and planning. It's a 20 marker classic risk question. Okay. So we'll start. I have also prepared a PDF which you will find. Don't worry, you will find that PDF sample answers in the drive link. If it is not available to you in the drive link, if it is showing empty, I will share it again in the group as well. Okay. So first, let's read the case question number 1 and see if it is in relation to the case study or not. So the first question, let's see. Okay, the first question says ISA 230 audit documentation requires auditors to prepare audit documentation for an audit of financial statements on a timely basis. This we have already discussed. State 3 purposes of documenting audit work. Note, you do not need to refer to the scenario to answer this question. So it's a 3 marker, as I told to you people, 3 marker knowledge based question. Okay. So here, one thing that you have to understand, remember, is they're only asking you the purpose of documenting the audit work. They are not asking what is audit documentation. So don't waste your time in writing what is audit documentation. Okay, let me show you the answer for this one. I have pre-prepared the answers for you people so that we don't waste time in me typing out the answers. So this is a PDF that I have prepared for the entire past paper. The answers are by me. I've written them, of course, in reference to your sample answers, of course. But this PDF you'll be able to find in the drive link. Okay. So let me show you. Okay, so I have written a lot of purposes for the same, but you only have to write 3 out of these. You do not have to write all of them. So make sure that you're not writing any extra points and you're sticking to the marks, which is 3 marks. So 3 points, maximum 4, but only, like, I would recommend 3 only. Okay. So provides the evidence of the audit basis for the conclusion. Of course, we discussed this, that this is a basis for our conclusion because it contains all of the evidences, the procedures, whatever the auditor was able to find. So this is the first purpose. Second, provides evidence the audit was planned and performed in accordance to the standards, because of course, whatever audit that we do, we have to prepare and plan accordingly only, right? Assess the engagement team to plan and perform the audit. Assess members of the engagement team responsible for supervision, direction, and supervise the audit. This is again a documentation which is going to help them strategize and plan. Enables engagement team to be accountable for its work because everything is documented well. Retains the records of matters for content and significance. Enables engagement quality reviewers also to monitor the activities of the audit. So these are some of the purposes of the audit documentation that we have. Any 3 would work. This is a knowledge based question, so you can learn this question from any of the notes that you might have. All right. So this is a cute small question of 3 marks. Let's move to the next question now. Okay. Now the next question says, let us start the annotation. Okay. Using the table below, so they have provided us already a table over here. Calculate the following 3 ratios. So they are asking us for 3 ratios for both the years, for 2025, 24, to assist you in the planning of the audit of survival company, operating profit, receivable collection period, payables payment period. Now this is, again, I always say, if you receive this question in your paper, it's a lottery for you. It's a free 3 marks for you. And note says formulas are not to be shown. So you don't care about the formulas. You just have to show the calculation and the answer. Calculation also, if you want to show, you can. If not, that's up to you. Okay. So you should, but your responsibility is to know the formulas of all of the ratios, commonly asked ratios to you. You would have already done the same ratios types in your FR paper potentially, so you can use the same ones in your oral paper also. And a list of this is also there in your Kaplan study text, so you can also refer to that for the list of it. Okay, do we have to write like or just the answer? I recommend to show the calculation, but from examiner's perspective, if you're just writing the answer and not showing the calculation, that is also sufficient. Marks won't be deducted for it. Okay. All right. So potentially they have given us some information over here. If you see in regards to your operating profit, can you people tell me what is the formula for operating profit margin and what would be the answer for it for both the years? Quickly, quick calculations. Let's do. Operating profit margin is a simple ratio. What is the formula for it? Let's be interactive now. I've spoken enough. Let's be interactive. Operating profit upon sales into 100. So what would be the answer for the first one? Let's see from here. Operating profit is given over here, 4210 divided by sales, which is revenue, 17,860 into 100. What would be the answer? 23.16. Okay, 23.5. Perfect. And for this year, 2024? Same. 2500 divided by 17,280 into 100. What it will be getting me? Quickly. 14.4. Let's see your answer if it is correct or not. Yes, 23.6 and 14.4. Perfect. Next one, receivable collection period. How many? What is the formula for it? Receivable collection period, what is the formula? पॉइंट्स का डिफरेंस है तो एग्जामिन आंसर पे इफेक्ट नहीं होगा. जस्ट राउंड इट ऑफ टू द लेट द होल नंबर. मतलब 16.5, 16.49 मत लिखो, 16.5. तो दैट इज ओके. 49 days. Okay. Okay. Formula is okay. What is the formula for payables payment period? Payables upon cost of sales into 365. One small mistake which people usually do. I remember this because today only we had a test, and usme I included the ratios question. All of the people who are there from my the course, they would know it. Guys, one very, very common mistake. I know this is very stupid, okay, but I still want to point it out so that nobody of you, at least, who are watching this particular session, does the mistake in the exam. Do you people think, supposingly, if my answer, supposingly, let's suppose say my answer for receivable collection period comes out to be, wait, comes out to be 49.5, okay? Is it correct if I write this in my answer? Is it okay? Because rounded off the 5 कर दिया मैंने. I have not written 49.49. I have written 49.50. Is it still not okay? Does somebody think it should be? Yes, correct. I'm so relieved that you people, everybody of you are correct in this one. Days cannot be ever in points. And mind you guys, I'm not even exaggerating. I'll show you a screenshot later if we sometimes get the time to do it. Today only I evaluated a script wherein the student wrote in points, in days in points. I know this is a very, very small, silly error, but this is going to cost you your easy marks. Examiner is not going to give you marks for it because whenever you ask, agar main aapse पूछूं, if I ask you, what is your age? Are you going to say 100.5 days old? No, right? क्योंकि days points में हो ही नहीं सकते हैं. That is the reason always round it off to, like this would be rounded off to 50 days, right? So 50 को round off कर लो. अगर जैसे 49.5 सिक्स जीरो आ रहा है तो अगेन 50, कम आ रहा है तो 49, वट एवर इट इज, but you have to round it off. It cannot be in points. Okay, very small thing, but I still wanted to talk about this one in over here. Okay, next thing. Let's see the answer for this one. I think most of you are correct in talking about the days. So 49 days is for the first one. Then previously it was 20. It increased to 49 this year. Then 80 is the payable days and it is gone down to 46 over here. So potentially we can also use these figures into your answers for the risk also. But let's see if you're going to use it. This is the easiest 3 plus 3, 6 marks that you can score in a 20 marker paper. A lot of people ask me ki is legit very difficult to score marks in AA. I say it's very easy. 20 10 to 12 marks is knowledge based. Few of your questions you receive like these, so I don't think so it's really tough to score marks. Hmm. Can they confuse to assume? No, Sayyid, they won't. It formula is 365 days only, it's not 360 days, so no. Okay, ठीक है. Chalo, let's move to our main portion now. The question says, using the information provided, the ratio is calculated. Okay, now one thing you have to be little careful, or you can use it for your advantage also, whatever. If you see, usually they say, using the information provided, describe 7 audit risk. Here they are saying you can also use the ratios calculated. So I would say, because they have written that in the answer, at least use one out of these 3 ratios. If you don't want to use all of these 3, it's okay. It depends upon you. But at least use one, because the question specifically says and. It does not say or. It says and. So that is that is the advantage of reading the question also. Okay, because if I was very overconfident and I do not care about the question, I know that the question is asking 7 risk, I'll straight away jump into the question. But here it is saying information provided and the ratios calculated. So it is essential for us to include one of these 3 at least. If you want to use 3, it's up to you. One out of these 3 into your answers. It's asking 7 audit risk and responses. Let's start with reading the case study. Now, usually I'll just increase the size of the screen for you people. Okay. Usually what I do, and this is the same technique I suggest to each and every student of mine also. Never read the full case study at once. Always go paragraph by paragraph, because such a lengthy case study, जब तक आप यहाँ पे आओगे आप भूल चुके होंगे कि आपने यहाँ क्या पढ़ा था. This is a human, basic human nature. आपकी गलती नहीं है इसमें, basic human nature. Okay, so always go paragraph by paragraph. Supposingly I identified a risk over here, I will, जैसे ही मैंने यहाँ पे risk identify किया, I will open my script यहाँ पे, जैसे आपके पास तो simultaneously है, right? I'll open this up, I'll write my first, I'll put the heading as first, I'll put the heading, for example, and I'll copy paste the statement from the question from here simultaneously, so that I don't have to go back to this paragraph again. Time management issues also will be resolved with this. ठीक है, मैंने एक बार पढ़ लिया, मैंने एक बार इसको लिख लिया अपना रिस्क में, आई एम डन विद दैट पर्टिकुलर पैराग्राफ. आई डोंट हैव टू रीड दैट पैराग्राफ. So one tip which I always follow with the students, and personally also when I have attempted my paper, I also followed the exact same approach. And mind you, I'm not boosting ya jo bhi hai, but when I whatever, but I used to complete my paper, all of the papers of ACCA, half an hour before the actual time. I don't know for what reason, but this was one of the things that I genuinely used to follow. Right? So because इससे दो बार तीन बार आपको case study नहीं पढ़नी पड़ेगी, and simultaneously you're also writing your answers down as well while you're reading the case study. So both the things are getting solved over here. Okay. Okay. So let's start with the case study now. Do we have any questions? Let's see. Should we write days? Yes, of course. We have to write days. Yes, we have to. If it is percentage, you'll write percentage. If it is days, you write days. What is 49 then? The examiner might not know what is 49. 49 percentage, 49 what? So days are important. Okay, now let's start reading the case study. For most of the answers, you people have to be very, very interactive with me. I will not be telling you the answer at first instant. You people will be telling me the answer and then we'll discuss, right? That is the reason we're having a live class. This is not a recording for you people that you're just listening. You people also have to simultaneously read and use your brains. Okay, are we ready for it? Quickly, guys, are we ready for it? We don't have to sleep in the class. We have to make it more interactive so that you also see. I am making it interactive because when you answer, आपको अभी जब मैं बोलूंगी कि yes very good या अच्छा आंसर किया whatever, you yourself will feel confident that yes I know the answer. And this is a question which you I'm sure you would not have done till now. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि this is something you've already done and आपको आंसर पता है, नहीं, ये नया question है which you are doing today. And mind you उसमें थोड़े tricky parts हैं. So let's start with the same thing. Okay, चलो. It is 1st July 2005. You are the audit supervisor at C Company responsible for planning the audit of Survival Solutions Company. Okay. For the year ended 30th September 2025, which is really important. Dates are really important for me. Okay. The company manufactures medical equipment. Okay. You attended a planning meeting at the end of June, and the finance director and audit engagement partner are now reviewing the prior year audit file, meeting notes, financial statement extracts in order to produce the planning documentation. So, this is a basic background information that they have provided to us. Till now, there is no audit risk that I was able to find. Sometimes in this particular paragraph only, they say that this is a new client for you or this is a first year audit for you. That is when, which type of risk arises, guys? If it is a new client for us, which risk arises? Detection risk. Absolutely perfect. Detection risk arises if it is a new client for us. But in this case, they have not told anything in this regard. So we'll move forward. First paragraph, done. Okay. Next. Okay. Planning meeting notes. Again, I won't read everything. Paragraph by paragraph we'll read. You will tell me if there's a red flag in the question or not. Okay. The report to management issued by C Company following last year's audit highlighted significant deficiencies relating to survival solutions payroll cycle. Okay. So in the last year, there were a lot of deficiencies in the payroll cycle of the company, of the client. The finance director has stated that some, but not all, the recommendations made in the report have been implemented during the year. Do we have any red flag over here or are we okay with the paragraph? Red flag? What is the red flag? Tell me. Control risk. Oh my God. Okay. Control risk in the payroll department. Absolutely correct. They have, see, they are saying, they are so smart, they are saying that we have implemented some but not all. So as a student I might be confused that whether they are doing some part of it correctly, but jo baki ka kar rahe hain, is it a problem for me or not? It is a problem for me because it is going to lead to control risk. The controls that the management has implemented, not all of them are working fine. Not all of them have been implemented during the year. So all of you who are writing not implemented, that the impact of implementation recommendations could be material on financial statements. Yes, Faisal, correct. Payroll may be misstated and there is likelihood of frauds and errors in the financial statements. Absolutely correct, Nikita. Very good. So because this is a control risk, now I told you people when we were doing the portion, I told you people that you have to talk about how is it impacting your financial statement. So Nikita is on point. She said that payroll will be misstated because this is in regards to your payroll fraud, payroll cycle, right? So let me show you my answer for this one. Okay. So I have written in the similar format that I expect all of you to write in the final exam also. It is upon you if you want to follow this format or not. Okay. So first thing, I always give a heading. Again, as I said to people, if you want it, you can write it. If you don't want it, it is okay. No marks are going to get cut. But see, for an examiner like me, if I'm evaluating, as soon as I see the heading, I know that the person has written the risk correctly. Right? I will know it. Right? Then I have written the statement from the question. Exact statement I have copy pasted from the question. The statement which was over here, the finance department se lekar during the year. So this I copy paste over here. Is it going to get copy pasted? Yes. The finance director. This is the statement from the question. And then I start explaining my risk. My risk is, for the control deficiencies not rectified, there is increased control risk, which you only people told it to me, which could result in misstated payroll
Ike
report.
పంపించిండు.
I am explaining the risk. I am explaining the risk over here. And then I am also talking about the impact on the financial statements. The item, the specific item, which is payroll, I am also talking about that. Okay. If, again, if you people have the question that if we do not write this, I was, going to score marks. No. Only half a mark for the identification portion, nothing for your explanation. So you have to always talk about how is it finally going to impact your financial statements. Okay. Then the responses, again, as auditor, if I get to know that they are not following the recommendations, there is a controlled risk due to which the payroll is getting impacted. First of all, I will discuss, I will question, I will ask the management, what are you doing? What are the actions are you taking? Why are you not implementing? Why are you not rectifying? Question. As simple as that, question them. Discuss with the management what actions they have taken to ensure deficiencies are not rectified during the year, have not resulted in fraud and error. So what is the reason why have not they not done that? And whatever has not been rectified, is it leading to any fraud or error? I am questioning, I'm discussing with the management. Very surface level. If no additional actions have been taken, adopt a fully substantive approach to confirm the completeness and accuracy. So if this is not happening, then I will move to the second portion. Again, guys, if you just write the first one, this one, you are going to score 1 mark. You do not have to write 2. Again, I know a lot of us feel that this might not be correct. So I want to just be extra sure. I'll write 2. It's okay. Write 2. But only and only if you have extra time in hand. अगर टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं बचता है, टाइम मैनेजमेंट इश्यूज है, एक से ज्यादा लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. व्हेन यू हैव सपोजिंगली आपने पूरा एग्जाम कर लिया है, लास्ट में 10 मिनट बचा है, कम बैक टू दिस क्वेश्चन, राइट वट एवर एक्स्ट्रा दैट यू वांट टू राइट. जितना एक्स्ट्रा लिखना है लिख लो, 4 पॉइंट लिखना है, 5 पॉइंट लिखना है, जितना लिखना है लिख लो. लेकिन व्हेन एट द स्टार्ट, व्हेन यू आर डूइंग योर आंसर्स, व्हेन यू डूइंग योर क्वेश्चंस, please do not write anything extra. टाइम जितना बचेगा एंड में, उतना यू विल गेट मोर मोटिवेशन आएगी, कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा कि ओके, आई नो द क्वेश्चन, आई हैव डन द पेपर, नाउ आई कैन गो बैक टू द क्वेश्चन, राइट एनी एक्स्ट्रा पॉइंट्स दैट आई वांट टू. But when you're going to when you're doing the question for the first time, don't write anything extra. चाहे आपको लग रहा है कि आपने गलत लिखा है, but still do not write extra. Okay? Next. So see, we are done with this particular paragraph. Now I don't have to refer to this paragraph again. I can ignore this now. I'll move to the next portion now, right? Because I have simultaneously wrote my answer. But if I was a student who was just reading the case study without actually understanding, reading it like a story, I will have to again read it to write my answer. This is something that I actually learned from my own mistake only. Like initially, when I used to do these case studies, I used to read everything and then I used to read the first paragraph again to write my answer, which I thought was very stupid of me, right? Because why am I reading the same thing again when I can just read it once and just ignore it later on? Right? Okay. Next paragraph. Again, you people are going to tell me the red flag over here. Survival Solutions Company manufactures the equipment at its factory and stores finished goods within its warehouse, which is okay. Due to limited space, some finished goods are stored in several third-party warehouses. Okay. Anything till now? Any problems till now? I'll go line by line. You people tell me red flag, green flag, whatever. Tell me red flag. Is there any red flag? Leading to loss of employees' goodwill, which Mehal, this is not a internal controls question, so we don't care about the goodwill over here in the risk question. We only care about our financial statements. Can we follow? Yes, absolutely. Yes, Khadija. We can follow the same approach in section A. You ask my students, I always follow the same approach in section A also. Storage, third party, third party. Okay. Third party, red flag. Okay, I got to know third party is an issue. So, what would be my impact on my financial statements? What is the risk over here? Tell me that. We can't read there's a risk the company might have included this third party as PPE. Third party warehouse as PPE? No. Inventory. They're talking about inventory, stored products, finished goods, inventory. Loss of inventory. How loss of inventory can happen? Loss of inventory is more so related to the company level problem. Financial statements में क्या impact पड़ सकता है? You have to talk about that. Inventory and accounting records must not exist in the warehouse. Can be done, yes. So overstatement, understatement can happen. True. Goods might not be physically available. Correct. Yes, company might not own that goods, therefore goods may be overstated. Yes. Inventory understated. Risk of stealing, getting the inventory stolen. That's a risk which is company level, like efficiency effect. Financial statements में कैसे impact पड़ेगा? That you have to tell it to me. एक चीज which you people are forgetting. One type of risk which you people are forgetting. You people are correct in writing all of these things. Ki inventory would be misstated, either over, understated, whatever. But one type of risk, if it is a third party warehouse, does the auditor has the control over that third party? Does the auditor has visibility to that warehouse? Can the auditor, of course, I can visit, but do I have the control over that warehouse? Do I know the company very well? Am I evaluating the company? I am not. So if I am not able to do so, what is the risk? I as an auditor, control risk? No, no. I am the auditor. I am not able to evaluate the third party. Detection risk. Absolutely correct. Perfect, guys. So both thing can happen. Detection risk will be there because it is a third party place. I am not evaluating the third party. I might not know what is happening in the warehouse of third party. I might not know what the financial statements of third party look like because I am evaluating my own company. Okay. So first risk is that, but the second risk is in regards to whatever you people told me in terms of the inventory. It won't be inherent risk because inherent risk is from management's perspective. Okay. Management के हिसाब से तो this is a good thing because they are not having space, right? So they have outsourced. So it's absolutely perfect from their end. Every company does this, right? Let me show you an answer for this one as well. Okay, so statement from the question, I have copy pasted. I'm going to get my half mark for this one. Let's read the risk also. There is a risk that if the inventory held off-site is not counted, inventory can be understated, right? Because supposingly there's some inventory which is there in the third-party warehouse. I am not counting them in my own financial statements. It is going to get understated. Yes, it can also get overstated because, for example, there's some inventory in my own financial statements which actually does not exist in the third party warehouse. That can also happen. So overstatement can also happen, right? So that is your misstatement of inventory would happen over here. So you can write understatement over here also, or if you want to write misstatement, you can also talk about that also. Okay. Then increase detection risk since your might not be able to fetch sufficient appropriate evidence from the third party. Both the things you can write. Inventory misstated or detection risk. Okay. And then what would be my response? My response would be I, as an auditor, I should go to that warehouse, go to that third party warehouse so that my detection risk eventually reduces and inventory valuation also I am able to correctly get. Right? For sites where material quantities are held, request management to arrange auditor to visit the third party premises also. Right? If not significant, if it is not significant, the inventory is not significant, I'll request a direct confirmation from the third party, because we all know that whatever confirmations or clarifications that we receive from third party, they are the most reliable ones, okay, of year-end quantities and conditions of the inventory held at the year end. So either I can confirm from the third party, or I can go to that particular premise and get my information. Again, guys, if you people are writing something else apart from these two in your responses, and that is making absolute sense, you are going to get marks. You don't have to rote learn. ये लिखा है तो भी सही है, कुछ और लिखा है जो मेक सेंस हो रहा है, then it is also fine. You can write any of these two risks, either detection or inventory overvaluation, undervaluation, whatever. You can write it. Any of these two, it is okay. दोनों लिख रहे हो, it is okay. Split कर रहे हो, not okay. Why not okay? Because this is part of your same third party warehouse point. है तो इन्वेंट्री ना, रिस्क अलग है, आइटम सेम है. So when the item is same, you cannot split. When items are different, you can split. Okay, so no splitting. You can write either of these two. Either of these two responses also you can write any one. I am just giving you an option here, guys. सिर्फ मैं ऑप्शन दे रही हूँ, मैं कुछ नहीं कर रही हूँ आपको, मैं सिर्फ ऑप्शन दे रही हूँ आपको. आप ये भी लिख सकते हो, ये भी लिख सकते हो, इसके अलावा भी कुछ आपको लिखना है आप वो भी लिख सकते हो, if it makes sense. Okay, yes, I can explain the response again for sure. The response says that for the sites, for all of the third party, warehouses, whatever I have, I need to check if the inventory is quantitative, if it is material basically. I will request the management that please allow me to go to those third party warehouses. उससे क्या होगा, when I go to the third party warehouses, first thing, I will be able to obtain sufficient appropriate evidence as an auditor. So the detection risk जो मुझे यहाँ पे आया, this would be mitigated. Second thing is, I will be able to see how much inventory the company is having. Count कर लूंगी, valuation check कर लूंगी, existence check कर लूंगी. So this issue will also get resolved if I just go there. ठीक है? But if the management says no, the inventory is not material, it's only few, then I can just obtain a third party confirmation asking the third party to give me in writing that inventory is 10,000 or 11,000 or whatever the amount is or whatever the value is, right? So ये दोनों is your responses. Can we write, can ownership risk can be there, the company might not own those goods. That is again your deficiencies, company level deficiencies, not over here. Yes, always. Auditor response का मतलब क्या है? Auditor's response. तो English word says auditor's responses. So management response होता तो management perspective से. Because it is auditor's response, that means from auditor's perspective only. In response, whether we have to write the auditor should or I check. In your answers, in double A, never use the words I, we, us, never. It is not SBL paper, guys. So never. In response, can we write the review the inventory count? Yes, you can write it. Why not? Makes sense. See, Nikita told us some other responses apart from these two, which is making sense. Impact detection, the question inventory. In this question, yes, because the detection risk inventory is misstated in the financial statements, I might not be able to get the sufficient appropriate evidence in regards to inventory. And if inventory is misstated, I will not be able to detect it. So that is this impact. Okay, let's move to the next paragraph now. Okay, so till here I am done. Let's read the next point. You people again are going to tell me if there's a red flag. During the year, the company spent $650,000 upgrading and repairing its factory and warehouse, which is okay. Every company does that. That's not a problem. As part of this upgrade, again, do we have any problems in here? Any red flag? They are upgrading. No? I think your yes or no depends upon my connotation. Like, how do I read the answer? It should not be dependent upon me. मैं तो confuse करूंगी. What is the red flag? Is there? A lot of you got confused. I said this is okay, this is normal, which the company does. But still, I think there's a risk. Yes, there is a risk. Incorrectly split between revenue and capital, capitalization, yes, IS 38, absolutely correct. If you are upgrading, repairing, some part of it can be capitalized, but some part of it has to be expensed out also. So there is a risk that company has not done that, leading to overstatement of the assets, understatement of the expenses. Repair तो आप नहीं कर सकते हो ना capitalize. अपग्रेड करना कैपिटलाइज कर सकते हो, एब्सोल्युटली अग्री टू इट, बट रिपेयर्स एंड मेंटेनेंस कैन नॉट बी कैपिटलाइज, इट हैज टू बी एक्सपेंस्ड आउट. नाउ माय रिस्क, आई एम नॉट सेइंग इट इज हैपनिंग, आई एम सेइंग देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ रिस्क, देयर इज अ रिस्क, right? So let me show you the answer. Upgrading, so statement from the question, I've copy pasted, gotten my half a mark in my pocket. Then, as per, because this is my property plant equipment, I mean, I am upgrading my PPE. So here, if the expense is directly attributable to the asset, again, if you people remember the standard correctly, you will be able to write this very easily. Because this is very basic of what IS 30, IS 16 says, that if the asset, if the expenditure, I'm sorry, is directly attributable to the asset, then you can capitalize. Otherwise, it has to be expensed out, right? There's a risk management has not correctly classified the cost. Hence, if it is related to more to the repairs, it should be expensed to the statement of P&L. If it relates to asset expenditure, it should be capitalized. If the expenditure is not correctly classified, expenses and PP could be misstated. Both the things can happen. If you are writing that repairs, your expenses can be understated, assets can be overstated, that is also okay. Okay? Let me read. So, ma'am, don't we write in confirmatory language like this is fault and this is what we should be done? We don't know, right? फैजल, यहाँ पे हमें पता नहीं है ना. देखो यहाँ पे उन्होंने बोला है ड्यूरिंग द ईयर कंपनी स्पेंड इतना, बट उन्होंने नहीं बोला है कि हमने इसको कैपिटलाइज करा है या हमने इसको एक्सपेंस आउट करा है. तो वी आर नॉट कंफर्म राइट नाउ. हमें लग रहा है ऐसा हो सकता है, क्या पता ना हो. हमको तो हम तो प्रोफेशनली स्केप्टिक है. वी एज ऑडिटर्स, वी आर प्रोफेशनली स्केप्टिक. वी हैव टू क्वेश्चन एवरीथिंग, राइट? तो यहां पे हम क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं, यहां हम कंफर्म नहीं है. ओके, इसलिए okay, the part amount of related upgrade should be capitalized and the rest should be expended. Correct, perfect. Are there scenarios as such where we could need to write? Yes, of course. अभी आगे जो हमने करा हम वो बोलेंगे. यहाँ पे भी लिमिटेड, यहाँ पे तो नहीं था. आगे जो चीजें आएंगी उसमें we'll be able to write कि this is a risk, this is a problem, you have to amend it. जहाँ पे हम firm होके बोल सकते हैं. Okay. Now my response would be, because I am not sure, so I will obtain a review. I will review the breakdown of these costs, agree to the invoices to ensure that the classification and the statements are correct. Because right now I'm not sure. I don't know. Probably उन्होंने सही करा है, तो इसलिए I will review the breakdown of the cost, agree to the invoices and check the classification financial statements between the revenue expenditure and capital expenditure is correct or not. Some of you also wrote about IS 38. IS 38 यहाँ पे नहीं यूज होगा. Why? Because IS 38 is in relation to your intangible assets and research development cost. Here, your warehouse and factory, both of these are tangible assets. Okay. So again, please don't get confused. IS 16 for tangible assets, IS 38 for intangible assets, patents, any rights, anything that they have acquired, all of those. Okay. Next point, next question, next paragraph. Okay. यहाँ तक I am okay. So do not go by my connotation of reading. आई माइट बी रीडिंग इन वेरी लेमैन लैंग्वेज, लेकिन उसमें गलत हो सकता है, तो अपने हिसाब से चलो, रीड ऑन योर ओन and then see if it is okay or no. I will confuse you, of course. I have to test you if your people are correct or not. Okay? चल. As part of this upgrade, now वो further information हमको दे रहे हैं. Survival Solution Company exchanged a large item of plant with a carrying amount of $85,000 and fair value of $90,000 for a new asset worth rupees 120 dollars. Now this is the fair value of the new asset, right? With the difference being settled in cash. तो उन्होंने exchange करा और जो भी difference आया वो उन्होंने cash में settle कर लिया for the new asset. That is okay. They usually do this. The asset has been recorded at the amount paid in cash. Okay, are we okay with this? Any red flags over here? Any problems? Okay, already I've gotten the answers. Oh my God. Okay, let me see. Okay, Nikita says, as per IS 16, okay, in case of exchange of assets, the assets received by the company should be recorded at fair value as a given up, but in the present case, it has been recorded in cash received, which leads to cash being overstated. How is cash overstated? Others, tell me. Reread it again. No problem, Nikita. It's okay. This is where I think Faisal, you were asking me for an example. This is where you tell it. यहाँ पे उन्होंने गलती करी है. उन्होंने बोला है हमने एसेट की वैल्यू रिकॉग्नाइज करी है कैश अमाउंट में जो हमने सेटल करा है. बट एक्चुअली कैसे होना चाहिए था एज पर I-16 120 पे. तो दिस इज अ गलती दैट दे हैव डन. तो यहाँ पे हम कॉन्फर्मेटिव होके, श्योरिटी अथॉरिटेटिव होके बोल सकते हैं आपने गलती करी है, प्लीज अमेंड, प्लीज चेंज. Okay, because here we are sure. Okay. Factual misstatement. How? Factual misstatement, yes, but talk about the audit risk in the financial statement. Cash received accuracy. Not sure if it makes sense. Okay, couldn't understand. No problem. Okay. If I make you people again, if you go back to your FR concepts, that is the reason I say that it is important for you to revise your standards. Without your standards, or it is nothing. नहीं समझ आएगा. ठीक है? यहाँ पे as per IS 16, if I tell it to you, wait. IS 16 क्या कहता है? Whenever I am purchasing any asset, it has to be recognized at the fair value of the asset. Fair value मतलब जो मेरी market value है of the asset. I have to recognize that asset in my financial statement at the fair value of the asset. Okay, I cannot recognize the value of the asset at a random amount. ठीक है, यहां पे वो लोग एक्सचेंज कर रहे हैं, विच इज ओके. आई डोंट हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम इन कंपनी एक्सचेंजिंग, बहुत कंपनीज करती हैं, दैट इज ओके. माई मेन प्रॉब्लम लाइज इज विद दिस स्टेटमेंट. यहां पे वो क्या बोल रहा है? एक्सचेंज लार्ज पार्ट ऑफ प्लांट विद कैरिंग अमाउंट ऑफ 85. तो मेरे फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में द कैरिंग अमाउंट वॉज 85,000 फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट. दिस वॉज द अमाउंट इन माई स्टेटमेंट. कॉस्ट पे ये अमाउंट था जो कि मैंने, और उसकी फेयर वैल्यू थी 95. फेयर अमाउंट था उसका 90 या कितना है, वेट आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी, या 90. मीनिंग इन माई फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स द अमाउंट वॉज 85,000. अगर मैं मार्केट में जाती मैं उसको 90,000 में बेच देती, राइट. दैट इज द फेयर वैल्यू. फॉर अ न्यू एसेट मैंने उसको किस से एक्सचेंज करा? ये 90,000 को मैंने न्यू एसेट से एक्सचेंज करा 120 जिसकी मार्केट वैल्यू थी, राइट. मैनेजमेंट बोल रहा है हमने जो अपनी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में एसेट की वैल्यू रिकॉग्नाइज करी है दैट इज विद द कैश डिफरेंस विच इज 30,000 फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जो कि गलत है. हमें तो 120 पे करनी चाहिए थी एज पर माई स्टैंडर्ड, right. So this is the problem over here, that they have not recognized at this amount, rather they have recognized at this amount, which is wrong. Okay, let me show you people my answer also for this one. Quickly, let's see. ओके, आई रिटन द स्टेटमेंट फ्रॉम द क्वेश्चन, सेम चीज मैंने लिखी है, हाफ मार्क आई एम गॉटन. नाउ, इन अकॉर्डेंस विद IS 16, प्लीज रीड इट वेरी केयरफुली. थोड़ा केयरफुली पढ़ोगे तो आ जाएगा समझ, कुछ डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. थोड़ा ट्वीक कर दिया है, थोड़ा नया है, तो शायद आपको लगे इट इज डिफिकल्ट, बट थोड़ा ध्यान से पढ़ोगे तो इजीली समझ आ जाएगा. यस, एसेट्स विल बी अंडरस्टूड. वेरी गुड. The cost of the asset is the fair value of the asset received. Hence, the cost of the new asset should have been recorded at 120. जबकि उन्होंने डिफरेंस भी रिकॉग्नाइज करा है, विच इज 30,000, विच इज रॉन्ग. राइट, यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है 30,000. As the asset has not been recorded at fair value, property plan, again guys, I'll read, पहले मैं पूरा पढ़ती हूँ. Property plant and equipment and depreciation is understated. क्योंकि रिकॉग्नाइज करना चाहिए था 120, करा है 30 पे, तो अंडरस्टेटमेंट है. इफ एनी ऑफ यू राइट ओवर हियर asset are understated, 0 marks. Which asset is understated? Property, plant, and equipment is understated. Okay. No writing, asset understated, asset misstated, 0 marks. Okay. Now, what would be my treatment for it? Nikita is absolutely correct. She says, request management to amend the carrying amount of the asset exchange so as to comply with the standards requirement. Perfect. Maham also says, discuss with management the reason why they have recorded the asset at amount being paid in cash and request them to write it at fair value. Perfect. Any other responses? I don't think so that you need my responses. You people are writing your own responses, which is making absolute sense to me. Okay? Anybody else has written any other responses? Other responses, guys? Anything else that you can potentially write? Here I am being confirmative that यहाँ पे उन्होंने गलती करी है, तो my response also will be like, please amend the mistake. तुमने गलती करी है, please correct it. Okay? Let's move to the next one. So now I'm also done with this big chunky paragraph. And how many risks I've identified? 4 already out of 7. Okay? Chalo, let's move to the next one. Small paragraph. Discuss with management about the accounting treatment of exchange of PP and request to rectify the accounting treatment. Perfect. Let's move to the next one. In order to maintain the company's market share, Survival Companies now offers extended credit terms to a number of its customers. What issue, what red flag do I see over here? You can also talk about the receivable collection period that you have taken out the ratio. Use that in your answer and tell me the answer. क्या लिखोगे? Extended credit terms may lead to risk in recoverability of the receivable, thereby receivables may be overstated in the SOFP. Perfect. बिल्कुल सही. कोई गलती नहीं है, कुछ मिसिंग नहीं है इस आंसर में, परफेक्ट आंसर है. रिसीवर्स ओवरस्टेटेड, अलाउंस में भी रिक्वायर्ड, वो तो फ्यूचर का हो गया, बट ठीक है, दैट इज समथिंग. उसके अलावा भी वील हैव टू डू इट, बट व्हाट इज द रिस्क, अभी क्या हो रहा है, इसकी वजह से व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन? Overstatement of trade receivables, credit period to be used regularly to the customers has to be. Shilpa, this is not a deficiency question. This is not a controls question. The one you're telling is a control कि regularly update करना चाहिए, वो तो ठीक है. But when they are extending the terms to the number of customers, उसकी वजह से क्या होगा for our financial statements, that we have to talk about. Overstatement of irrecoverable debts, also sales may be made to poor credit customers, correct. Sales may be made to poor credit customers, yes, ठीक है, लिख सकते हो. Majorly our impact would be on receivables, on our sales revenue basically, कि ये दोनों चीजें overstatement हो सकती है. Why? Because now let's compare. If you see, receiver collection period was previously 20 and it has now increased to 49 days. मतलब पहले हमारे डेटर्स हमें 20 डेज में पेमेंट कर देते थे, Now, because they have gotten extended credit limits, it has extended to 49 days, which is a big, big, big red flag. That is also you can write in your answer. Always try to, अगर ऐसा कोई question आता है, हमेशा try to connect with your ratios if you have calculated, because that is again the information given in the question. Okay? Statement from the question I have written over here. The increase in the receivable collection period could be solely due to the increase in credit terms, right? However, it could also be due to an increase in risk of recoverability of the receivables. If some of these debts are not recoverable and adequate allowances is not made, trade receivables. If this is not done, तो मैं बोल रही हूँ again, यहाँ पे I'm not sure if it is there or not. I am saying if they are not following all of these things, then there's a possibility that my trade payables are overstated, my revenue is overstated, and my allowances are understated. Because I might not have created the allowances for the credit customers. Okay? Are we okay? Do we have any doubts? Anything? Anything that you people are not able to understand till now? Yes, no, something? It's clear. Is it looking little easy, difficult, medium, easy, mid? Still getting confused in response. Okay, इसका response क्या होगा? Now I know. See, think from auditor's perspective. मेरे पास कोई situation लेकर आया है. The company is increasing its credit terms. Now I know कि इसकी वजह से मेरे receivable collection period is also increasing. इसकी वजह से आई नो कि माई ट्रेड रिसीवेबल्स कैन बी ओवरस्टेटेड, माई अलाउंसेस कैन बी अंडरस्टेटेड. अलाउंसेस हो सकते बनाए ना उन लोगों ने. ठीक है. सबसे पहले मेरे से अगर कोई पूछेगा कि आप क्या करोगे, मैं तो सबसे पहले एज रिसीवेबल लेजर देख लूंगी. सबसे पहले मैं वही करूंगी, क्योंकि एज रिसीवेबल लेजर में मेरे को पता चल जाएगा हाउ ओल्ड आर द रिसीवेबल्स, कितनी जल्दी कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं या कितनी जल्दी नहीं कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं. आई विल रिव्यू दैट. तो दैट इज माई फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्स. सेकेंड रिस्पॉन्स देख लूंगी पोस्ट ईयर एंड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, रिसीट्स बेसिकली. हैव आई एक्चुअली रिसीव द अमाउंट फ्रॉम द डेटर्स और नॉट, और इज इट अ बैड डेट फॉर मी, तो वो भी देख लूंगी. तो ये दो चीजें मैं कर सकती हूँ एज इफ यू जस्ट आस्क मी. A lot of people have given over here also. Let's see. Extended post-year and cash receipts testing, regular review of receivable ledgers to be performed to assess the valuation need for allowance for the receivables. Absolutely correct. You can also discuss with the management कि are you creating the allowances for the extended credit terms? Because technically अगर आपने credit terms increase करे हैं तो allowances भी increase होने चाहिए. Have you done that? तो वो भी आप पूछ सकते हो. ठीक है. तो हमेशा whenever you are getting the risk, ऑलवेज थिंक फ्रॉम योर ओन पर्सपेक्टिव कि आप किस, मतलब आप क्या करोगे उस चीज में. Standard, no standard as such for the receivables. If you want to talk about, no, no, no. IFRS 9, 37, no, none. Not all risk are related to any of the standards. बैंक लोन भी जैसे किसी के स्टैंडर्ड से रिस्क किसी स्टैंडर्ड से रिलेटेड नहीं है. सो नॉट ऑल. Provisions नहीं, allowances. There's a difference. I hope you know it. Allowances बनाएंगे यहाँ पे, provisions नहीं बनाएंगे. ठीक है. Now next paragraph. Let's move. Survival Solution Company offers its customers a 3-year warranty on its products. Okay. Warranty ठीक है. मुझे थोड़ा सा रेड फ्लैग दिख रहा है, बट एक बार नेक्स्ट लाइन पढ़ते हैं फिर देखते हैं. The finance director has confirmed that the 2025 warranty provision will be familiar value to 2024. ओके. तो वो कह रहा है कि जितना अलाउंस हमने, जितना प्रोविजन एक्चुअली वारंटी प्रोविजन हमने पिछले साल बनाया था, इट वुड बी ऑन अ सिमिलर बेसिस इन दिस ईयर ऑल्सो. I am okay. I don't have any problem till now. Okay. Last year, the company changed its main supplier to a cheaper alternative. This has resulted in increase in customers claiming on their warranties for the product deficiencies. अगर warranties increase, मतलब if the claims are increasing, my provision should also technically increase for obvious reasons, right? तो अगर वो इंक्रीज नहीं हो रहा है, जो कि इस केस में वो बोल रहे हैं, नहीं हम तो सेम रख रहे हैं, दैट इज अ प्रॉब्लम. हु इज द फर्स्ट वन टू आंसर? लेट्स सी. Faisal, very good, Faisal. He says the warranty provisions may be understood. Absolutely correct. Because इस केस में हमारे claims increase हो रहे हैं. If the claims are increasing, our provision should also get increased parallelly for obvious reasons, basic common sense, right? If that is not happening, our warranty provisions are understated. यहाँ पे you can talk about IS 37 if you want to. Okay, understatement. Very good, Shilpa. Provision should be increased. Disclosures must not be in line with this. Yes, Maham. Maham, you're absolutely correct. Adiba is also correct. Perfect, guys. Let's see my answer for this one. Yeah. So statement from the question I've copy pasted. As the overall level of the provision is similar to the prior year, there is a risk the warranty provision and corresponding expenses is understated because my provision यहाँ पे वो बोल रहे हैं क्योंकि same रखेंगे because of this reason my risk my question arises. अगर उन्होंने ये नहीं बोला होता तो शायद मैं नहीं लिखती या फिर भी मैं शायद क्वेश्चन करती. बट इससे देयर इज मोर क्लैरिटी दैट देयर इज प्रोबेबली एन अंडरस्टेटमेंट ऑफ द प्रोविजन since the quality of production had deteriorated and this has led to increase in the warranty claims. Exactly what I told to you when I was explaining and exactly what you people also have told it to me. तो आप लोग ही सही आंसर मेरे को दे रहे हो. I hope that you're also getting the confidence that you can write your own answers also. Okay? लेट्स सी द रिस्पॉन्सेज का बहुत ही सिमिलर, बहुत ही इजी होगा. डिस्कशन विद मैनेजमेंट देयर प्रोसीजर्स फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द वारंटी प्रोविजन एंड स्पेसिफिकली हाउ दे हैव एडजस्टेड द कैलकुलेशन इन द इंक्रीज कि कैसे उन्होंने करी है. यू कैन इवन क्वेश्चन द रीजन, द रैशनल, द रीजनेबलनेस, द अजम्पशंस फॉर द सिमिलर प्रोविजन. इसके लिए भी आप क्वेश्चन कर सकते हो, ये वाले पोर्शन के लिए भी. दिस वन you can also question them that on what basis or what assumptions have you taken that you have not increased the provision. You can also question them. ठीक है? Okay with the response also. Any doubts till now? Anything? Any doubts? Any questions? Yes, no? I think this was pretty simple. ये वाला मतलब specific this problem. Yeah? What is the difference between receivable and provision? Okay, good question. Good FR question actually. Receivable आपका होता है कि something that you are about to receive. जैसे supposingly you know that all customers when you are in a business, not all customers pay in your cash. They pay you in credit also. तो वो क्रेडिट आपका बनता है डेटर. द कस्टमर बिकम्स अ डेटर एंड द अमाउंट दैट यू आर गोइंग टू रिसीव फ्रॉम देम that becomes a receivable. That if for example you've done a sale of 10,000 and they're saying that okay I'll pay you after 10 days, that is a receivable for you, it is an asset for you. Provision on the other hand is something that you're going to be supposingly of the company. Agar supposingly company is having some legal issues for example, ठीक है, अब कंपनी के पास ऑप्शन देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी, अब श्योरिटी नहीं है, पॉसिबिलिटी है कि कंपनी इज गोइंग टू हैव टू पे 10,000 टू द क्लाइंट. क्लाइंट को कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गई, क्लाइंट की स्किन खराब हो गई फॉर एग्जाम्पल बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट्स एंड कंपनी ने क्लाइंट ने सू कर दिया उनको कोर्ट में. तो देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दैट देयर इज अ आउटफ्लो फ्रॉम माई एंड. तो मैंने उसके लिए ऑलरेडी प्रोविजन बना लिया कि अच्छा मुझे हो सकता है मेरे को 10,000 देना पड़े नहीं देना पड़े, दैट इज कंटेंजेंट, दैट इज नॉट श्योर. बट स्टिल मैंने अपनी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में उसके लिए प्रोविजन बना लिया. प्रोविजन इज अ लायबिलिटी, रिसीवेबल इज एन एसेट. कैन वी राइट अबाउट टू कैलकुलेट वारंटी कॉस्ट? वाई आर वी डूइंग दैट? बिकॉज यहाँ पे हमें कोई न्यूमेरिकल नहीं गिवन है, अमाउंट नहीं गिवन है, तो कैलकुलेट करने का कोई सेंस नहीं बनता है. सृष्टि ऑन यूट्यूब. Analytical procedure. Not really. It is a response or a response. There's a difference between analytical procedure. हम यहाँ पे procedure नहीं लिख रहे हैं. हम यहाँ पे substandard procedures नहीं लिख रहे हैं और procedures नहीं लिख रहे हैं. So, okay? ठीक है. Next paragraph. Let's move. In June 2025, the finance controller left to take another role, okay, before the year end. Her replacement has been recruited but will not start until late September. So, late September is almost at the year end. As a result, the finance department has been understaffed. Now, main problem is this. You people tell me what is the risk in association with this. I have given you the hint. Tell me. Hmm. Lack of control over aged receivables. How age receivable came over here? Finance department sees everything in general, not just the age receivable. So इतना specific नहीं लिखते हैं. If it is understaffed, सबसे पहली बात तो जब भी कहीं पर भी in real life also, if it is understaffed, the already existing people might have so many responsibilities, they'll be burdened with it. जब उनका बर्डन होगा then what issues will happen, you will talk about that in the financial statements. Increase responsibilities for the staff. Yes, Madhumita, correct. Lack of supervision, understaffed. Finance department leads to misstatement either due to fraud and yes, misstatement of course. अगर क्योंकि वो understaffed है, because they're doing so many things together, there is a possibility that they are going to some mistakes, some misstatements, right? Let me show you the answer for this one. Statement from the question, no finance controller. Then this increases the inherent risk. All of you who were talking about control risk, यहाँ पे control तो है ही नहीं. This is inherently risky because of the nature. Because the person has left. Control तो तब आता जब नया person रखते हैं and he would not have been experienced enough either in this regards. Control risk आएगा but not in this regards, right? Because they have not kept another person. If another person has not been kept, that is a lack of control कि it should have been kept और early रखना चाहिए था. अगर आप क्वेश्चन देखो, क्वेश्चन में बोल रहे हैं कि हर रिप्लेसमेंट विल अराइज लेकिन विल नॉट स्टार्ट अंटिल लेट सितंबर. तो बिकॉज इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अंटिल लेट सितंबर, दैट इज अ कंट्रोल रिस्क. सी यू हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड अ कंट्रोल बट दैट इज नॉट इनफ फॉर अस बिकॉज वो इमीडिएट ट्रांसफरेंस नहीं हो रही है, इमीडिएट रिप्लेसमेंट नहीं हो रही है. Yes, it is. Yes, if it is replaced, it would be a control risk. It can be a control risk. Why not? In this question also, it is a control risk also. दोनों चीजें हैं. Inherent भी है, control भी है, दोनों चीजें हैं. I'll show you the answer. Let's see. एक minute. It increases the inherent risk within the company as errors may have been made within the accounting records by the overworked finance members, which we talked about, that they will get burdened due to their, because they are getting burdened, they might make mistakes. क्योंकि nature, because of the nature, it is more complex, right? It has become more complex. That is the reason it is inherent risk because of the nature. Then, because it is understaffing, because it is leading to replacement later on, it is your control risk also. If increases, if controls are not being applied due to understaffing, the new finance controller may not be sufficiently experienced to produce the financial statements and resolve any audit related issues leading to errors in the financial statement. You can also use the word misstated financial statements if you want to. And yes, you can write either of these two. You don't have to write both. I am giving you the option कि दोनों possibility है because I have to discuss both the possibilities. But if you write only one of these two, that also makes sense. Okay? Again, repeating, two things we have to talk about. First thing is inherent risk. Why? Because the people who are getting burdened with work, because they are getting burdened with work, they will make more mistakes, increasing the complexity of the accounting records, due to which inherent risk will arise. Second of all, control risk, because there is a possibility. First, there's a possibility that the person that they have replaced with, they might not have the relevant experience. A, even if they have the experience, they are getting replaced very late. That is again your deficiency in the controls, hence a control risk, which is going to lead to um, problems in the financial statement. Risk of direction, supervision, review. Yes, you can also write that word, right? That is the reason double A subjective. Whatever Faisal has said, I did not say it, but that is also correct. He's not wrong. Okay. The response for this one would be very simple again. The audit team, first of all, because this is a situation which is very tricky for me. So I have to be professionally skeptic. I'll be more alert to any problems. That would be my first thing. Second thing, I will ask the finance director to provide the team with assistance for any issues for the new finance controller is not able to get resolved. The auditing team must be read through all the audit procedure. Yes, about the risk and discussion with the management. Correct, Harshini. Absolutely correct. So again, whatever I am writing, if you are adding something else, if that is making sense, it's absolutely correct. Okay? Yes, it is a management risk. That is the reason we have talked about inherent and control. These two are parts of your management risk only. ROMM, risk of material misstatement, from management's perspective. Okay, are we okay? So we have written 7. Let's move next now. How do we understand that this area requires detailed substandard procedures being tested? Because it is दो risk arise हो रहे हैं and it is more risky in terms of the situation on its own, because person on its own, the main controller is not there. We are not sure if the replacement is qualitative enough or not, तो इसलिए और detailed procedures हमको perform करने पड़ेंगे to be able to be sure that the new person is also perfect. And also another red flag is understaffing. इसलिए हमको और अपने कान थोड़े खुले रखने पड़ेंगे in this situation. Okay. Last paragraph. It was recently discovered that a batch of supplier invoices that has been miscoded and therefore has not been recorded as payables, and investigation is still going on to identify why the miscoding happened. I think this is very straightforward. Let me know what would be the risk. Supply invoices have not been recognized correctly in the financial statements. What is it going to lead to? Faisal is always the first one. Good, I am liking it. Risk of understatement of payables, payable understated. Perfect. I think this was easy. Yeah, this was easy. Why? Because they gave us the hint over here only that therefore has not been recorded as payables. तो नहीं रिकॉग्नाइज किया तो करना चाहिए था, तो इसलिए अंडरस्टेटमेंट. यू पीपल टेल मी विदाउट सीइंग माय आंसर व्हाट वुड बी द रिस्पॉन्स. What would be my response over here? Think. Ask with management why they didn't record it, and then yes, the simplest one. Nikita is playing safe. She's saying, I'll play safe, I'll not use any jargons, I'll play safe. That is also okay, that works out. She's correct. Test a sample of invoices to perform sequence check. Perfect. Review the purchase orders to the purchase invoices. And what are we going to do, Shilpa? This is not enough. Supply statement reconciliation. Yes, perfect. A supply statement reconciliation should be done with supply invoices to ensure that payables and balances complete and accurate. Perfect. Everybody, look at the answer that Faisal has given us. That answer is complete. To check the payables ledger account, review the sales invoices to confirm that all invoices have been correctly, properly. ठीक है. Check when why is the payables not recorded. Sharon, that's not enough. If you're writing इसके आगे भी the reason why and checking the supporting documentation, that's enough. Agree the accuracy and completeness. Perfect. Yes, then it is okay, Shilpa. So these are the correct responses. Again, you people only, I have not shown you any responses, but all of you who have written the answers, you people are perfect in writing the answers. Yeah? Let me show you the answer for this one also. Have I not written it? Oh yeah, I've written it. यहाँ पे I've also compared with the days. एक और बार हम देखते हैं, ऊपर चलते हैं. Let's see. Okay. So if you see with our calculations, earlier our payable payment was 80 days. Now it has gone down to 46. So potentially we have not probably recognized the invoices. That is the reason there is no payment to it. And that is the reason the days have reduced. So potentially another connecting the dots, because the question asked me to connect the dots with the ratios also. So I have written over here as well. If you see guys over here. Cost of sales and revenue both have increased from last year. This is again थोड़ा मैंने इसको डिफरेंट एंगल देने की कोशिश करी है, बट इवन इफ यू डू नॉट राइट दिस इट्स ओके. इफ यू जस्ट फोकस अपॉन द ट्रेड पेबल्स बिट, दैट इज ऑल्सो ओके. बट इफ you check out this table which is given right here, which technically you should, here if you see the revenue ज्यादा इंक्रीज नहीं आया है, right? If you see cost of sales ज्यादा इंक्रीज नहीं आया है, right? But our operating expenses have gone down significantly, right? Trade payables also have gone down significantly, right? So here, that is the reason I have related it to it. Even if you don't want to do it, that's okay. This is not the case. Trade payables could be understated. The miscoded batch of inventory invoices, which was discovered, raises the risk that purchases and trade payables may be understated if other invoices have been miscoded. In every response, we need action source assertions. Usually, yes, Srushti, but not as detailed as your substantive procedures. यहाँ पर अगर आप देखोगे हमने बहुत कम जगहों पर अपने सोर्स डॉक्यूमेंट्स यूज करे हैं. इनवॉइसेस, कंपैरिजन विद इनवॉइसेस, डिस्कशंस. यूजुअली हमने डिस्कशन ज्यादा करी है, राइट? सो यूजुअली you tend to should have it, but not in very detail. Misappropriation of expenses, absolutely correct, Adiba. Okay. So with this, we are done with this particular question. Do we have any doubts, guys? Full 20 marker question we have done. Do we have any doubts, any questions anywhere? Anywhere do we have any questions, or shall I quickly move towards the examiner reports? Yes. Any question, guys? Shall we move? Shall I quickly show you the examiner report also? Wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm glad, Syed. I'm so glad. Can we write about standback evaluation method isotherm for decreasing detection for decrease? Yes, that's a little more technical, but yes, you can write it. It's correct. In real life also we use the same ISA 315 in actual audit world. In these questions, certain risks were not directly mentioned. Yes. Thank you, Nikita. Thank you so much. Can you show the full answer? Okay, I'll show after discussing this thing. You will also be able to get the PDF very soon, so you'll also be able to see that, because I think the session is already very lengthy, so I don't want to waste any more time. Let's see the exam report quickly. Okay, I have already highlighted, so हम पूरा नहीं पढ़ेंगे. We'll not waste time. I'll not waste your time, my time both. So this is for specifically the question today that we have done, which is survival company question. Let's see. The first part was, if you remember, was a knowledge-based question, 3 purposes of audit response, right? Got a little idea how to run the questions. Thank you. No problem, Sanjana. Okay. Let me read. We will only read the highlighted portions, okay? 1 mark is available for 1 point. This is exactly what I told to you people, that you do not have to write any extra point. That is what also the examiner is telling it to you, right? In this session, a significant minority, so probably majority of the people attended it perfectly, Minority of candidates incorrectly focused their answers on what audit documents are, which I told to you in the starting also कि हमें ये नहीं लिखना है कि what documents are. That's not the question. We only have to talk about the purpose of the documentation. Candidates must take time to carefully digest the keywords in the requirement and to ensure their answer is relevant. Okay. So this was your first part. Second part was about your ratios. Ratios, mein, let's read this. Candidates are reminded to ensure that they are able to calculate all the ratios within the syllabus, not just the main liquidity and profitability. Again, this is one quick tip I would want to give you people also. Because usually what happens is usually liquidity and profitability is only tested, right? So don't just go by कि यही टेस्ट होगा. सारे के सारे रेशोज जो टाइप्स ऑफ रेशोज हैं जो आपकी कैप्टन स्टडी टेक्स्ट में गिवन है, you should know all of them. Okay. Next, now main thing that we have to read. Marks are awarded for identification, which I told to you, half a mark for identification, half a mark for explanation, half 1 mark for the response. The scenarios typically contain more than number of risk required. If you see, हमारे question में भी 7 risk पूछे थे, but I think हमने 8 या 9 risk identify करे हैं. So in your question also, you are going to get 1 or 2 risk extra always, 100% of the time. Okay, one thing, but you do not have to write more than 7 risk. Prioritize. जो रिस्क आपको बेस्ट लिखने में आ रहा है, वट एवर रिस्क दैट यू राइटिंग द यू आर एबल टू राइट द बेस्ट, राइट दैट ओनली. ओके. When undertaking this, wait, okay, when undertaking this, when undertaking this, read through it in a it is a good exam technique to use the highlight function. जैसे मैंने भी when I was reading I was highlighting simultaneously, as this provides a visual aid for quickly spotting the audit risk. Okay, having looked at the whole scenario and highlighted relevant points, candidates should pick their 7 strongest points, reread them from the scenario, drafting their answer as they go along. तो आप ये भी कर सकते हो, यू कैन फॉलो दिस अप्रोच ऑल्सो. यू कैन रीड द केस सिनेरियो, पहले सारे हाईलाइट कर लो कौन कौन से रिस्क है, एंड देन स्टार्ट योर राइटिंग योर आंसर, ताकि आपको पूरा केस स्टडी वापस ना पढ़नी पड़े. ओके. नेक्स्ट, candidates often use the copy paste function when drafting their answers for the identification of the risk, which is okay. However, care should be taken to ensure that the risk is actually identified. This is exactly what I told to you, that पूरा पैराग्राफ होता है, उसमें से पूरा पैराग्राफ आपको कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं करना है, ओनली रेलेवेंट रिस्क यू हैव टू कॉपी पेस्ट. This is exactly what the examiner is also telling you. Simply stating a fact from the scenario is not always the same as identifying the audit risk. Okay, next thing. When tackling audit risk questions, which include ratios, जैसे इस question में था, the result of calculation should be considered while identifying the risk. जो मैंने आपको बोला, I told to you that if they are saying at least एक ratio use कर लो in your answers, if you're not doing that, there is a chance that the examiner is going to cut your marks. The significant increase in the receivable collection period, along with the information in the scenario about the increased credit terms, this is exactly what we did in our answer also of the receivable. अगर आप यहाँ देखोगे, कहाँ पे था, this one, this is what they're talking about, that this is because of both the reasons कि this has increased and also increased credit terms by the company. This is exactly what the examiner is also telling us. Candidates should note that if two pieces of information, very 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 important guys, reread this please read this. It is saying candidates should note that if two pieces of information result is there in the same audit risk, then credit is only available once, as the information should be used in conjunction. दो अलग अलग चीजें नहीं है, एक ही चीज है, because this is the same item of the financial statement. Okay. Candidates need to state the specific area of the financial statements impacted with the assertion, which I told to you. When you're explaining, when you have explaining, the next step is to explain. उसमें candidate needs to explain the specific area of the financial statement. जैसे कि asset नहीं लिखना है, property, plant and equipment, your machinery, for example, whatever it is, right? With the assertion कि क्या problem है, कट ऑफ इशू है, वैल्यूएशन है, कंप्लीटनेस है, क्या इशू है, या ओवर अंडरस्टेटमेंट है, या इनहेरेंट कंट्रोल या डिटेक्शन रिस्क है. Any of these 3 things you can write in your answer to explain. Again, very very important thing which I told to you, Misstated will only be awarded if it is clear that the balance could be over or understated both. दोनों हो सकता है. There's a possibility for both. For example, if the risk should have been described in terms of an understated balance, then no credit would be awarded if it candidates refer to a misstated. तो अगर आपका balance understated है, but अगर आपने misstated लिख दिया है, no credit is going to be get awarded to you people. 0 marks. See this line. Candidates cannot hedge their bets by providing both the options. आप दोनों options नहीं दे सकते हो. आपको एक ही चीज लिखनी है and have to be very, very specific. Okay? Explanation of the risk must also clearly state the specific area of the financial statements impacted. For example, in respect to the issue relating to the part exchange of the plant, जहाँ पे उन्होंने exchange किया था, only noting that non-current assets or assets could be understated would not award credit. Telling them PPE is understated, depreciation is understated is going to get you marks. तो item मत explain करो, मतलब heading मत explain करो, item has to be explained. All right. Next thing, candidates must take time to carefully read the scenario, noting any relevant information to ensure they correctly understand the scenario. So time do, extensively time mat do. Okay. Responses, now this is about your responses. Responses must be practical within the context of the scenario. First thing, care should be taken to ensure the responses is one an auditor would take, not management, which I also told to you. It's not a management response, it is an auditor's response. In this session, candidates provide management responses for the audit risk relating to financial control and leaving, such as recruit or replacement. So, auditor is not required to recruit. He is not responsible. It's management's duty, right? So that is also not relevant over here. Last one. Candidates often suggest increased professional skepticism for a whole range of audit risk. And while valid, it is not on its own suitable response for 1 mark. Again, guys, in some of the responses, you can write professional skepticism, increase professional skepticism, increase testing, but that's not enough. That is going to get you half a mark. You have to substantiate that with a relevant response. जैसे यहाँ पर भी if you see, जो हमने fraud के बारे में लिखा था, sorry. फ्रॉड के बारे में जो हमने लिखा था, आई थिंक नीचे था. Should increase substantive testing, remain alert for the audit. In addition, ask the finance director to provide the team with assistance. So I wrote this, but this is not enough. If you're writing this, because ultimately think from logical perspective also, guys, agar this is normal duty of the auditor, irrespective. We have to be professionally skeptic irrespective. वी आर राइटिंग ओवर हियर बिकॉज यहाँ पे हमें ज्यादा ज्यादा अपने कान खड़े रखने हैं. वी हैव टू बी मोर प्रोफेशनली स्केप्टिक, बट दैट इज नॉट इनफ. उसके साथ वी हैव टू राइट समथिंग एल्स ऑल्सो टू फेच फुल 1 mark. Okay, that is what the examiner is saying over here. Order responses do not have to be detailed procedure, जो मैंने आपको बताया, detailed नहीं होने चाहिए. Rather, it is an approach the audit team will take. Care must be taken, however, to ensure the approach suggested actually addresses the risk identified and contains sufficient detail. A response discussion with the management will not gain any credit as candidates need to be very clear exactly what they are asking the management. अगर आप लिखोगे discussion with the management regarding this issue, what discussion are you doing? Very clearly you have to write so that you get 1 full mark. जो भी मैंने आपको बताया अभी तक, everything is summarized over here. Okay? So we are done with day 1. Do we have any doubts, guys? Last doubts we'll take and then we'll wrap up the session. Is it okay to keep highlighting the question? Yes, why not? As if 2 scenarios rated going concern risk, then only one would be 1 marks. Yes. You'll combine into one, no? You'll not write separate. एक ही में combine कर दोगे.